How's it going, everyone? I'm Keegs, and the Clone Wars animated series is, in my opinion, some of the best Star Wars content ever. The show elaborates significantly on seemingly small decisions that were made in Episode 1 and Episode 2, but actually have a huge impact on the galaxy and affect the characters going forward. It gives you a much better appreciation for Anakin's eventual turn to the dark side, and even if you don't agree with all the actions he did and all the, innocent people that he may have killed, you can at least understand how he got to where he was, and you saw him slowly becoming more and more resentful towards the Jedi throughout the series. That being said, The Clone Wars is a really long show, and admittedly not all of the episodes are vital to understanding the universe. Basically, you got some filler in there. So if you don't want to take the time to watch all of the episodes, I wanted to talk about what the most essential episodes are and the ones that I think are most important to expanding the universe and understanding the characters better, and even the ones that introduce new characters that are now reoccurring in new Star Wars properties. Starting off though, I recommend that you watch the Clone Wars animated movie, which kind of kicks off the rest of the series because it does introduce Ahsoka, which is going to be a major player through the animated series, and it'll really lay the groundwork for the rest of the series, or at the very least it'll give you an appreciation for how much better the show got over the course of its run. Honestly, I would kind of recommend watching the first season in its entirety because it lays even more groundwork and sets up a lot of new characters that are going to carry throughout the entire series, but we're still going to go over the most essential ones here. Episode 1 introduces Asajj Ventress, which is a pivotal character to the show and has some great Count Dooku setup. Episode 2, 3, and 4 introduce Jedi Master Plo Koon, who actually inducted Ahsoka into the Order. It also expands greatly on General Grievous aboard his own ship, the Malevolence. I would say episode 5 through 8 you can probably skip. Episode 9 introduces Jedi Master Luminara Unduli, who is a character that often returns, as well as showing a character that gives a little more insight into the leader of the Trade Federation, Nute Gunray. Episode 10 introduces Jedi Master Kit Fisto and Jedi Nadar Veb, and shows how ruthless Dooku is by luring Jedi to Grievous's lair just to punish Grievous. Episode 11 and 12 introduce Hondo, who is a reoccurring character and gives a little more Dooku development. Episode 13 and 14 introduces Aayla Secura and also shows how many people of the galaxy don't want anything to do with the raging war between the Separatists and the Republic. Episode 15 through 18 you can skip. Episode 19, 20, and 21 introduces the planet Ryloth, which is the homeworld of the Twi'leks and tends to show up in a lot of other Star Wars media. Episode 22 introduces Zero, which is a member of the Hutt family, as well as Cad Bane, who is a very important character to the series. Moving into Season 2, Episode 1, 2, and 3 give a lot more development to the Cad Bane storyline. Episode 4 and 5 are great episodes for Anakin's development, and one of the first times we really see him sink into the dark side. Episodes 6, 7, and 8 introduce Luminar's Padawan, Barriss Offee, who is also an important character. Episode 9 and 10 you can probably skip. Episode 11 may seem like filler, but it actually introduces Jedi Master Tera Sinube, who does seem to show up in a few different properties, though it's not like incredibly vital. Episode 12, 13, and 14 are very important to set up the Duchess of Mandalore, Satine Kryze. Episode 15 is good development for Padmé and her relationship with Bail Organa. Episode 16 is kind of a prequel to the series and shows Anakin's first time commanding a ship, but isn't really vital to the development of the universe. Episode 17, 18, and 19 you can skip. Episode 20, 21, and 22 gives you some good Boba Fett development. Moving into Season 3, Episode 1 and 2 introduces Jedi Master Shaak Ti and develops the cloning world of Kamino. Episode 3 introduces Cham Syndulla of Ryloth, who is an important character. Episode 4 you can skip. Episode 5 and 6 explore Mandalore a bit more and the political conflict within the planet. Episode 7 and 8 you can skip. Episode 9 introduces Quinlan Vos, who is actually one of the few Jedis to survive Order 66 and the Purge of the Jedi, and also shows you that he has an ability to see echoes from the past using the Force. Episode 10 and 11 you can skip. Episode 12, 13, and 14 have some huge developments between Asajj and Dooku, and also introduces the Night Sisters of Dathomir, as well as Dooku's new apprentice, Savage Opress. Episode 15, 16, and 17 is the most important arc for the entire season, I think, so this is an absolute watch. It also happens to be one of my absolute favorite arcs. Episode 18, 19, and 20 introduce a young Tarkin and show Clone Trooper Echo's demise, which will have consequences later on. Episode 21 and 22 I think you can skip, though in episode 22 we do get a Chewbacca cameo. Looking back on it, Season 3 is actually really good, and it's basically where we start to see the fractures of the Republic. But moving on to Season 4, Episodes 1 through 6 I think you can skip, though Anakin and Grievous do go through a prisoner swap. Not a good start for Season 4, but fear not, because Episodes 7, 8, 9, and 10 is maybe the best arc of the entire season, and entirely follows the 501st Clone Legion, which is the Legion Anakin commands. Episode 11, 12, and 13 you can skip. Episode 14 introduces Death Watch and Bo-Katan, who have major implications in the galaxy. Episode 15, 16, 17, and 18 is a good arc to see Dooku's plans from the Separatist side, and also Anakin momentarily lose control, developing his dark side tendencies. Episode 19, 20, 21, and 22 is a great arc with the Night Sisters, Savage Opress, Dooku, and a resurrected Darth Maul. Moving on to Season 5, Episode 1 continues with Maul and Opress. Episode 2 through 5 you can skip, though you do get introduced to a young Saw Gerrera, who is introduced in Episode 4, who is a somewhat important character and definitely shows up throughout other Star Wars properties. Episode 6 isn't vital, but provides some good Jedi lore about the rituals of younglings and getting their kyber crystals. Episodes 7 through 13 you can skip, though Clone Trooper Gregor is introduced in Episode 12 and he's occasionally seen again later. Episode 14, 15, and 16 are great Mandalorian and Maul episodes. Episodes 17, 18, 19, and 20 are an absolute must-watch and very important to the Star Wars universe going forward. Moving on to Season 6, Episodes 1 through 4 is a very good arc about the clone troopers and shows the beginnings of Order 66. Episode 5, 6, and 7 is a great arc that develops Padme and Anakin's relationship a little bit further, and Episode 8 and 9 you can skip. Episode 10 gives awesome backstory to the start of the Clone Wars and alludes to the larger conspiracy that Palpatine's been up to. Episode 11, 12, and 13 delve deeper into the mysteries of the Force and show Yoda's journey to learning how to become a Force ghost. Now, moving on to the final season, Season 7, Episode 1, 2, 3, and 4 set up a lot of post-Clone War shows, particularly The Bad Batch, and it also shows Anakin balancing a finer line between the light and dark side. Episode 5, 6, 7, and 8 you can probably skip, with maybe the exception of the last 2 minutes of Episode 8, where Bo-Katan recruits Ahsoka to take on Maul on Mandalore. Episode 9, 10, 11, and 12 is one of, if not the best arc in all of Star Wars. I don't care, you're talking movies, TV shows, books, whatever, it is a must-watch. I'm not going to give anything else away here, but if you've watched the entirety of the Clone Wars up until this point, this will hit even harder, and the satisfaction payoff is just amazing. So that sums up every episode that I think is a must-watch and really expands on the Star Wars universe or the Star Wars mythos. I'll list out every episode that I recommend in the comment section below, so you can just check that list if you're ever looking for which one you should watch next. Let me know if you would have included any other vital Clone Wars episodes, or if there were some that I included that you don't think are vital. I'm Keegs, and I will catch you all next time for some more Star Wars content.